Hiya and welcome to Recreate's Creative Shed. We have had a little bit of a break recently, so we can come back with some new and fresh ideas using the world in which we're living in as our main point of inspiration. It's great to have you back. I have missed it, I must say. I've had a little rejiggle around and in the space to have a look at what materials I might have, because I often find that that's what really inspires me generally. And we are all currently in a situation, particularly when the weather has been so good, that we may be feeling like we need a holiday, or how are we going to have a holiday in the current situation? Well, this is something that I've been thinking. So myself and Aisling, who's the creative director in Recreate, have been putting our heads together. And we've been discussing ideas about the kind of things that we would like to make, based obviously on the materials that we have available to us. And we were talking about maybe having a holiday, what we would like to do, what will be the first thing that we're going to do once the restrictions and everything is lessened. And we talked about eating ice cream, and one main theme was heading to the beach and dipping our toes in the seawater and breathing in that lovely sea air. So when we also talked about the beach, and we were inspired by the, say, Brighton Pier, or any piers that you might go to. Maybe this is a little bit old-fashioned, but always really, really good fun when I've seen it. So let me get to the point. So basically, this large piece of cardboard, I don't quite know how I'm going to do this with the camera being there, me being a one-woman show, and trying to do this. But let's see how we get on. And sure, if this video ends up being like 30 seconds long, then so be it. I've saved a large piece of cardboard, and cardboard is at a premium now, would you believe? This large sheet of cardboard, this was a gift that was sent in the post to us. And I was like, who cares about what's inside the box? That is an awesome looking box. I think maybe harking back to childhood, or anybody, I think, maybe where you open up the present and what's inside is not as exciting as the box itself, which you could turn into many, many things. I have actually seen some stuff where somebody turned it into a unicorn race car, and I was like, oh my god, I definitely need to do one of those. I did attempt at making a boat out of a large box. The sail on it was made from a blind for a house. And it was quite cool. I even had the back cut down so the small person could walk in and out without tripping over it. But do you know what? I had more crack with making the boat than my small person did with actually playing with it. So I can actually see it's now directly behind the camera over there, that poor derelict boat. But maybe if I turned it into a unicorn race car, they might have more interest in playing with it. Anyway, based on holidays and us talking about holidays and what we would first do when we are eventually able to go out and we can travel anywhere we want, we thought about maybe having a little mini series of videos called A Holiday in Your Head, or A Holiday in Your House even. So I thought with this big piece of card that we could do one of those like whole cutouts, Brighton Pier, seaside, where you could do almost like a family portrait that's kind of a little bit silly, a little bit funny. So this box is quite cool, and I'm actually going to just spin it around and use, because one side is shiny and the other one is not. So I'm going to use the not shiny side. Just excuse me for a second. It is rather large, this card. So you could have this as like the beginning of your stage set. And even if you didn't have a piece of card this large, like, it doesn't really matter. You could put some, if you've got a few cardboard boxes, you could flatten them out, tape them together. Also, if you're going to give it a little lick of paint beforehand, before you start drawing or cutting or anything, that will hide all the seams and all those bits and pieces there. So this one I thought was quite good, because I've almost got these creases either side, left and right, which will help it stand up. So I could do this as a whole scene. And then what the idea was, is that I would cut out holes to put our heads through, and I would make bodies of our like alter ego, like somebody else who you might be, a bit like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, I suppose. I have Baroness von Banterstein is my alter ego. Or you might want to create something like, you might want to be a snail, or you might want to be an ice cream eating, circus performing trapeze artist. So you could all cut out decide who's going to go where in your family or your group, or even if it's just on your own, that doesn't matter. You could either do one whole, or you could put people's faces in, you could draw people's faces in without cutting them out, put a photograph of somebody that you know even behind. That could be quite funny if you could print it off at home. And then you could do your painting. So you're like, maybe you're imagining that you're on this beautiful desert island with palm trees and all of that kind of thing. So I'm going to do one. Oh, I thought I got a marker pen out. Sorry, did I get a marker pen out? No, I'm losing my tiny mind. And just bear with me, I just have to go. You can see the pencil case just down there. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to work, considering that this piece of card is rather large and there's not a huge amount of space, and I've got a bumblebee poking me in the back there. But just bear with me. I'm just going to get the marker pen. Actually, that might work out quite good, because then it means I can come round this side. So I'm going to do it in a nice bright colour just so you can see. Okay. So I'm going to imagine that I'm going to go there. How big's my head? You don't want it too big, because you don't want to have like big gaps around the side, because you want it to kind of look like it's your head, right? And I always notice that, you know, it's a one size fits all kind of thing. Now what you could do is you could rest your head against the cardboard. Sure, I'll do it, will I? Rest your head against the cardboard and do a little like top and a little bit under your chin. Try not to get marker pen on your chin. A little bit to the side and one over this side. Okay, so can you see that we've got a square, a rectangle type thing? So I know my head is around about that kind of pudding shaped circle like that. I've actually done it a little bit too high up the top, haven't I? So if I wanted to have like a big elaborate hairdo, which I think I do, I think I need a big elaborate hairdo to go up, maybe like a giant ice cream, I'm thinking. Maybe I'll just add a card on afterwards. That's probably the easiest thing. Now, hopefully this is going to be sharp enough to cut it out. So you might have to get, or you will have to get maybe, if you've got small hands, if you're a small person or young, you might need to get somebody else to cut this out for you. What you could do is you could start off with a pair of scissors, do a slot like that, and then cut around the edges like that. Or if you're more than capable of doing it by yourself, then great, just mind your fingers. And, okay, it's quite tough. This is quite thick card, which is good, because it means you'll be able to withstand a bit of battering. Okay. So now, because our videos are only short, we like to keep them nice and short. I'm obviously not going to be able to do the whole thing. I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing right now. But this could be like a long-term, a little bit more of a long-term project that you guys do. So you could start off and you could either be your alter ego, or maybe you could be like a very formal family portrait, or maybe you're imagining that you're on the beach and that's what your picture's going to be of yourself, like self-portraits, I suppose. Okay, so let's see now if this works. 1 second. That is not a bad fit, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, all right? Let me get my fringe in. I'm going to leave it there for now. If you would like to interact with any of our other videos, you can catch us on our website, our home over there. We'd love to have you over. Thanks for joining me today. If you I have no idea what I was about to say there, but create something, a holiday in your head, making one of these kind of old school, stick your head in the picture frames and imagine that you're on the beach or on a faraway land with palm trees and whatnot. Anyway, I'll be talking to you soon, so thank you very much and take care. Bye.